When you first look at this car, you might not know it's something special. In a lot of ways, it looks like any other Lexus you'd see on the road, the kind your mild-mannered bankers and doctors drive to polite dinners in quiet restaurants. But look a little closer and you'll see this is not a regular Lexus GS, but it's actually the much faster, much rarer, much wilder GS F. It's got a few little clues that give it away, like brake calipers that are painted orange, bigger vent openings to keep those brakes cool, and a carbon fiber spoiler in back. But despite those clues, I think this is one of the greatest sleepers I've ever driven. It's not as flashy looking, not as attention hungry as the super fast sedans it competes with, the Cadillac CT-SV, BMW M5, and Mercedes E63 AMG. Now, if Lexus wanted to make the GSF look flashier, more like the head-turning but controversial RCF, it's certainly got the mechanical credentials to back it up. A 5-liter V8 that revs to a glorious 7,300 RPM redline would be the perfect match for an exotic body. That engine makes 467 horsepower, and it does so without a turbocharger or supercharger. It's naturally aspirated, which is becoming more unusual with each passing year as performance cars are switching more and more to forced induction. But there's an honesty to the way a big, high-revving V8 sounds and feels that you just can't replicate in any other engine. Now, Lexus does augment the sound of this engine with active sound control, so they use electronics to make it sound even better, with the front speakers emphasizing the sound of the air intake, and the back speakers putting out a low drone like the exhaust note that matches the engine RPMs. So they're starting with an honest V8, and then they're using some electronic wizardry to make it sound even better. How does it drive? Of course, it's mind-blowingly fast with that much power on tap, and a great sport-tuned suspension, and monster brakes. But beyond that, my biggest surprise was just how refined it felt. It wasn't as raw as the CT-SV I drove a few months ago, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you like in this kind of car. I love the digital display that shows you where the torque is being split to the rear wheels. That's a cool touch. And I like all the carbon fiber and especially those orange brake calipers. They just make my heart race.